Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today we have not one, not two, not three, but four DevBlogs that have been released over yesterday and today so far since the big apology from Wargaming on Thursday. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into them. This is going to be another long video, but no worries, I will have the chapters set up down below, so just go to the part that you want to listen to the most. And if I don't hear from you at the end, hope you guys enjoyed and have a wonderful weekend. But here we go, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go in the order that they were released. So first off, ST 10.9, Event German Battleships Part 1, Halloween, Asymmetric Battles, and Other News. Closed testing of the new update 10.9 will start soon. You'll be able to participate in Halloween events, test new German battleships, try asymmetric battles, and a lot more. As always, please note that all information in the DevBlog is preliminary. Announced adjustments and features may change multiple times during testing. The final information will be published on our game's website. Halloween. This year, several events awaits players for Halloween. In Update 10.9, will add a new temporary battle type called Twilight Hunt. Also, will bring back Operations Saving Transylvania and Sunray in the Darkness. Twilight Hunt. The rules of this new battle type are similar to our previous event, Big Hunt. 16 players will meet each other in battle on the updated map Polygon, where they will fight each other in ships of Twilight Fleet controlled by AI to survive. The main goal in the battle is to survive and leave the Polygon via a portal located in the center. The portal will open sometime after the battle starts. You can create a division with other players during a battle. For the destruction of the Twilight Fleet ships and other players' ships are given a temporary resource, battle points, with which you can directly in battle to strengthen your ship. There's a word missing there. I'm assuming that's supposed to say use or utilize. Upgrading your ship will not spend the points, so don't hesitate to do so. The Armada of Twilight Fleet will be led by a ship boss Rasputin. Alright. Apart from ships you already know like Valkyrie, Whirlwind, Gale, Avenger, Heracles, and Hector, players will be able to enter battle on monster ships Fangblade, Thornridge, and Lobsterhide. That sounds pretty cool. Twilight Hunt will take place in 3 parts. Each part will have its own difficulty levels, normal, hard, and super hard. Operations. In this year's operations, you'll have access to a super hard difficulty level. For the first completion of the operation with 3 stars on this new difficulty, you earn premium jack-o'-lantern containers from which you'll have a chance to obtain permanent camouflage from previous Halloween events and other items. In honor of the event added to the game, Commanders Radus Rogue, Airless Darling, and Dr. Linebelly. Alright, there they are. Permanent camouflage, Antanian Fleet for Hipper, Hisyang, Implacable, Kitakazi, Iowa, and Dmitry Donskoy. See, I like these camos. I like these camos. They're pretty cool. They're nice and steampunked. You know, I don't really use them a lot. I prefer the historical camos, but, you know, these look pretty cool. I like the detail in there. And again, art department hitting it out the park. Alright, German Battleships. Part 1, at least. Update 10.9 will open early access to a new line of Tier 3 to 10 German battleships. In honor of the event, added Permanent Camouflage German Fleet for Prince Heinrich and Zieten, Permanent Camouflage German Eagle for Prince Ruprecht, Schlieffen, and Brandenburg. And I believe that's Prince Heinrich right there. What is that? The German Fleet. I like that camo. It looks very clean. I like the color coordination on it. And then there is the German Eagle camouflage there. I like the color coordination too. Again, I'm not a big fan of like the over-the-top decorations and stuff on the ship, but the color coordination is very nice. Theme patch and commemorative flag, German Battleships Part 1. 2 variants of German Battleships containers. The ways of obtaining these items will be announced later. Also for the event, we decorated the Hamburg port. So Hamburg's getting a facelift. Alright. Naval Records. Naval Records is a new temporary weekly event. Its goal is to earn as much base XP as possible. The event rules are similar to naval battles. Each player will have access to a list of classes, nations, and ships they can take into battle. Completing the objective will give players German tokens, coal, and enable the player to take another ship into battle. Main roles. Players can participate in researchable ships, premium ships if their class has researchable ships in its tree. No limit on the number of attempts. The list of ships will refresh once a week. So it's literally just naval battles, but there's no limit, and it's just with base XP. Okay, pretty cool. So you can just keep going and earning German tokens to use in the German battleship event just by playing the game on certain classes for certain nations, which if it's anything like naval battles, it's just whatever you got. You know, you just take it out and play it and earn as much as you can. Okay. And if I'm understanding it correctly, at least. I know, let's say if you earn like 300 XP in American battleships, then the next level may be 500 XP, then 700 XP, then 800. You know, it keeps going up until you get to probably like 2500 or something like that, which would be pretty nutty. Anyway, asymmetric battles. In the first 2 weeks after the update, asymmetric battle will be available to play. Asymmetric battles is a temporary battle type in which one team fields a larger number of ships of a lower tier, and the other team has a smaller number of higher tier ships. This year we changed the tiers of ships available to take into battle. Team number 1 will have tier 9 and 10 ships, and they can have 5 to 7 ships on their team. Team number 2 will have tier 7 and tier 8 ships, and the number of ships will be 9 to 12. To participate in a battle on a tier 9 to 10 ships, you need a temporary resource battle tokens. You can earn tokens by participating in asymmetric battles on tier 7 to 8 ships. In Update 10.9, asymmetric battles will be available during prime time windows each day. This will help to keep a better balance of teams and will decrease the amount of influence of bots present in battles. Okay, so they upped the tiers. Last time it was, what, 5 and 6 was the lower tier, and then, was it 8 was the higher tier, or was it 7 and 8? I can't remember. So we've basically gone one tier up, and what's really funny, too, is the tier 8 should actually be pretty fine, because they're used to being up-tiered. The tier 7s facing against tier 10s will be interesting to see. There might be some nice enough shenanigans you could have there. I'm pretty sure you could, at least. But interesting to see how this rolls out. Alright, Brawls. 2 Brawls will take place through 10.9. From 11th till 18th of October with tier 8 ships. From 25th of October to November 1st. More details will be announced at a later date. I'm assuming it's tier 8 ships too for the second one, although they don't include that. Other changes and improvements. Updated display of characteristics of ships and battles. Updated ship stats, which you can bring up by hitting H. Now the information there takes into account all modifiers applied currently on the ship. Added a display of all active equipment and active commander skills above the ship's status windows. That's pretty helpful. Added a notification of changed characteristics once of the commander's talents gets activated. That's nice too. Updated the display of damaged or destroyed modules, fires, and floodings. Okay, so that's actually pretty nice, and something that a whole lot of players are asking for, especially with these new commander skills and how conditional they are, and how, well, not difficult, but how confusing they can be at times. That's a nice, good quality of life change there. Okay, new content. The following content was added in Update 10.9. Permanent camouflage, North Carolina Conts for North Carolina, Spindle camouflage, King of the Sea 13 red, and King of the Sea 13 green. Commemorative flags, Czar of Moscow, King of the Sea 13, and also commemorative flags for Verdi and Marlborough, which we'll get to those in a second. Commander Willie Newman and Special Commander Johannes Mechlin with unique voiceover. I don't know who these guys are. Someone please let me know in the comments down below. Container regular supply. And I think those are the Halloween containers right there as well. The ways of obtaining these items will be announced later. We will place the ensign flags on Dresden, Emden, G101, Karlsruhe, Kolberg, Königalbert, Nassau, V25, and V170 to the World War I era Imperial German flag. This flag will also be added to the ships in early access von der Tann, Moltke, Devlinger, and Mackensen. And on the 325th anniversary of the Russian Navy, we decorated the port to St. Petersburg, and boy, is that really shiny there. Man, does that ship have a lot of flags on it. Whew. Alright. Next one. This is only the second one. New ships. British Tier 9 Battleship Marlborough. We're going to go with Marlborough because it looks very similarly spelled to the cigarette. And considering this is a British battleship, I think calling it the cigarette boat would be pretty appropriate. Italian Tier 9 Battleship Giusepe Verdi, I'm just calling it Verdi now because I'm not sure if I'm saying that first name correctly, have been added to the game for testing. Please note the information yada yada preliminary subject to change. British Battleship Marlborough Till 9. A battleship project from the year 1947 borrowing design principles from Vanguard and King George V. The main feature of the new battleship is her ample main battery consisting of 16 356mm 14-inch guns and 4 4-gun turrets. The ship's less than ideal armor is compensated by the good concealment and the sheer power of her main battery guns. They have a fast reload time and decent range. Please tell me they included the stats here. Oh, they did. Okay, 1 second. Italian battleship Verdi Tier 9. This battleship was developed in Italy by Ansaldo from the year 1936. Verdi was developed using the Vittorio Veneto class as a starting point. Aboard Verdi's decks are installed 9 406mm guns and 3 3-gun turrets. Distinctively from most other Italian ships, Verdi has HE instead of SAP. She also has access to AP shells. Verdi has an improved exhaust smoke generator consumable, which provides the ship with the opportunity to disengage from a heavy enemy fire or reach a favorable position on the battlefield without being detected. This is just Marco Polo with HE, and I bet you better accuracy and reload time. I bet you that's what this is. Alright, so let's look at the stats. So the Marlborough. Hit points 76,800, 32mm plating, so that's actually okay for Tier 9. 76,000, that's about right for Tier 9 ships. It may be a little on the low side, but definitely, I think it's more than the Lion has access to. I think, I'm just going off the top of my head, I haven't played the Lion in like forever. Okay, so she has a 20km range with her 16 14-inch guns. Maximum HE shell damage 5,500, 89mm a pin. Only a 24% chance of causing a fire, but you do have 16 guns. So I do think anything more would be excessive, even by British battleship standards. AP shells, maximum damage 10,500. I'm assuming it has British BB-AP for the moment. It doesn't say otherwise, and it doesn't list the fuse times here either. 25-second reload time. Ooh. And it's Tier 9, so it can get the reload module. Oh, boy. Maximum dispersion 269 meters, though. Ooh, boy. Sigma 1.4. Oh, boy. 1.4 Sigma. Okay, 16 guns with a 25-second reload time. Then you could slap the reload module on top of that. Maybe it might make up for it. Of course, it has the 8x2 133mm British secondaries, the 7km range. So damage con and repair party, no fighter or spotter or anything like that. Okay. Oh, and it goes 31 knots too. And what's its detection range? I said it had a good detection range, 15.4 kilometers. So throw skills and all in there. I think you could get that down to about 12-ish, which is the norm for British BBs. All right, the Verdi. So 69,100 has less HP than the Marlborough, although the armor's better than the Marlborough. All right, 19.1 kilometer range. HE shell damage 5,700. 68mm of HE pin. 36% chance starting a fire. AP shell maximum damage 13,050. Has that hypervelocity 130 meters a second. Italian velocity. 30-second flat reload time, maximum dispersion 253, and a sigma of 1.8. So yeah, just right there, that's a lot more accurate than the Marco Polo. And this is, again, before you build into it too, so you got all that going for you. So it gets damage con, repair party, exhaust smoke generator. It's active for 80 seconds, and the smoke itself has a 15-second duration time. Reloads 180 seconds, so you can get 3 charges of it. Okay, so the Verdi is, just like I suspected, a more accurate Marco Polo, but instead of the SAP, you get the HE. Now, the Marco Polo, it's inaccurate because if you just hit like 2 shells of SAP on someone and you hit a portion of your ship that the SAP can pin, you're doing like 16k damage to them. And on those God rolls where you get most of your SAP shells to hit, you are absolutely God slapping ships for like 20, 30k. Again, if they all connect, which is freaking rare in the Marco Polo. Okay, so the Marlborough, it looks interesting. I'm really interested to see how this ship plays out. It looks incredibly derpy. Kind of just like a fun derpy ship, maybe a free XP or a coal ship. But we'll see what happens with the Marlborough. I'm really interested in it, though. It's just such a strange thing to see at Tier 9. Alright, so we got some more Soviet CV changes along with some other test ships. So this is coming in 10.8. So the Nakhimov attack time of researchable skip bombers decreased from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. The Chikhalov changed parameters for standard bombers. Bomb drop height increased by 30%. Drop time increased by 20%. Attack time was reduced from 8 to 7 seconds. On the Rochester, which is the Tier 8 American cruiser, they reduced the main battery reload time. I'm sorry, they increased the main battery reload time from 11.5 to 12 seconds, so half a second change. Von der Tann and all the German battleships from Tier 3 to Tier 6 had their main battery reload time increased, along with their secondary reload time. No, I'm sorry. They had the main battery reload time increased, and their firing range decreased on average from about half a kilometer. And their main battery reload time was increased on an average of 1 to 2 seconds. I don't want to go through all of them. There's 10 of them, and we're already almost at a 30-minute video. Okay, but the Heinrich, though. So for the Heinrich to the Rupert, the reload time of the secondary guns was also increased as well, from about half a second for both the 105s and the 150s, okay? And the Schlieffen had her health increased from 70,600 to 76,000, and the maximum main battery firing range was decreased from 20 to 19.8. Alright, so some shifting around in some of the numbers of the German BBs. From what I've seen, they're actually really strong. The secondaries are just 105s and 150s, but they are insanely accurate for what I've seen, especially with the new commander skills. So it's sad to see, but from what I've seen in game, it was honestly kind of needed. They haven't messed with the accuracy of the secondaries at all, just the reload time for some of them, and the main gun accuracy as well. But again, from what I've seen, they are really strong. All right. So the Karl von Schongberg, which is the Tier 6 German DD, the maximum HE shield damage was decreased from 2200 to 1750, and she lost a percent on her fire chance. It's now down to 11%. Incomparable. Changed the parameters of the engine boost consumable. Maximum speed bonus decreased from 10% to 8%. Poor Incomparable. She was started as a really just nutty ship. I mean, she's still incredibly nutty. This is the 20-inch British super cruiser, battle cruiser, I should say. It's a battleship, you know, because we don't have a battle cruiser slot in game just yet. So now she's a little bit slower with her engine boost. Okay. The Golden Lion, the Tier 10 Dutch cruiser, main battery reload time decreased from 16 to 15 seconds. And the Carnot had her firing range increased from 18.1 to 18.6 kilometers, and her Sigma upped back up to 2.05. This is the Tier 9 French super cruiser. And they increased the secondary battery range on the Bearn, which is the Tier 6 French CV, from 5 to 5.6 kilometers. Okay. Last DevBlog. Might get through this in under 30 minutes. So, they changed the parameters of submarines. So, let's see what they changed. Submarine Changes. Ascending submarines could strike their torpedoes point blank, causing considerable damage firstly to destroyers. Adjusting submarine torpedoes' arming time would make interacting with them more like with torpedoes of surface ships. Increased submarine's dive capacity depleting when detected did not affect its gameplay significantly. We decided to increase dive capacity depletion to allow ships opposing submarines more efficiently, forcing them to operate more carefully, prevent impacting of efficiency of the class negatively. Dive charge recharge rate was increased. Okay. Decreasing of detectability after emitting a sonar ping will highlight stealthy submarine gameplay. With changes to hydrophones, operating range, and action time, submarines would affect the gameplay of enemy U-boats less. Reducing consumable reload time would allow bearing enemy ships more often, coordinating actions underwater respectively. Okay, so it sounds like they're increasing the arm time of the torpedoes, so submarines can't do the surface for a second, fire torpedoes at point blank range, and then just dive back underneath. And this is something that I did quite a lot. I think I've showcased it a couple of times. Unfortunately, I don't have any submarine footage to show you because their rank's over with, and I didn't catch any more submarines. You know, I was unlucky in the random bundles. But they would just surface like right next to the ship, hurry up, fire all the torpedoes, and go back underneath the water really quickly. I mean, really quickly, but you can normally get a shot or two off, but normally not enough to destroy the submarine. Meanwhile, they, of course, just got all those torpedoes into you. It sounds like they're increasing the arming distance to where you can't do that anymore. You got to surface further away in order to get your torpedoes off. Okay. So it also sounds like they're increasing the speed at which dive capacity gets depleted when you're detected, which is pretty good. When I was playing a submarine, it didn't really affect me too much, especially when you have the emergency battery consumable, where it just stops your battery being used at all. So this also gives ships that don't have ASW equipment more of a chance to do something against submarines, because if they're detected, they can just sit on top of them and keep them detected with either sitting on top of them, detecting them by proximity or whatever, and they'd be forced to go to the surface a lot more often. Okay, so let's see what changed. So dive capacity depletion when spotted increased from 2 to 4 units per second. Dive capacity recharge rate increased from 0.3 to 0.5 units per second. Detectability range after emitting a ping increased from 4 to 2 kilometers. Decreased from 4 to 2 kilometers. Torpedo arming time increased from 0.5 to 2 seconds flat. Oof. Detectability range after emitting a sonar ping and smoke, and these are the ships that are affected. Cachalot, Salmon, U-69, U-190, Balao, and U-2501. So detectability after emitting a ping and smoke, I think when you ping, you should be detected at like almost your torpedo firing, not almost your torpedo firing range, but probably like half of it, because I mean, it's a ping, it's loud, it's not hard to determine where it's coming from. Granted, they do highlight the portion of your ship now to let you know that you were pinged, which is something that I asked for way back after like the first submarine testing. So okay, so that's the changes happening there. Reduced consumable action time. The Cachalot, Salmon, and Balao are going from 45 to 40 seconds. U-69, U-190, U-2501 are going from 60 to 40 seconds. Reduced consumable reload time. The Cachalot, Salmon, and Balao from 90 to 80 seconds. U-69, U-190, U-2501 from 90 to 60 seconds. Ship bearing is submarine spotting range at depth. The Cachalot from 5.5 to 5 kilometers. The Salmon and U-69 from 6 to 5.5 kilometers. The Balao, the U-190 from 6.5 to 6 kilometers. The U-2501 from 7 to 6.5 kilometers. Okay, the Missouri economics. And this is something that actually happened today, this Friday when I'm recording this. They bumped her earning from 20% to 30% to get her more in line with her economy before they removed it when they reintroduced her. Plus, if you had Missouri before 10.7, you're getting compensated for the lost credits, since they had to bump the economy up several times. It went from 7%, then it went to 20%, now it's at 30%. So they say, moreover, we believe it's fair that we give the affected players the credits they did not receive during 10.7 due to the bonus being lower than it should have been. These credits will be invoiced until September 12th at 11:59 UTC. Okay, so a lot of news today, a whole lot to go over. Highlights for me, the Halloween events. I always like playing these, and it's kind of sad because I do make videos on them, and they don't really do that well. The Halloween events are normally very fun, and this year it seems like they're going back to the arena or the polygon, whatever that battle royale mode was. I really like that. A lot of the guys that I play with really like that as well. And this time around, you can actually play as the monsters, which is pretty cool in my mind, and could lead to some fantastic derpy moments. German Battleship Part 1 event. It'll be interesting to see how they're going to do it after seeing the apology that we got from them yesterday, if they're still going to do the random bundles for the German ships. Or what they might do is, since we have these, what they call it now, Naval Records instead of naval battles, maybe this is just how you're going to get your German tokens, and the only way to get the ships will be through the German tokens in the armory. Or they went through, well, normally you can get all the ships via the tokens from combat missions or whatever, but they put the tier 9 in random bundles. It'll be interesting to see if they do this time, or they're just going to stick to putting them all in the armory and just get the German tokens by just doing the Naval Records, which is simply just playing the game and earning so much XP. If they do that, I think that would be a much better way of doing it, rather than, of course, sticking it in a paywall like they did with the Dutch cruisers. New ships, again, we talked about that. More interested in the Marlborough than the Verdi. The Verdi, again, Marco Polo a bit more accurate, which could be very nice, but the Marlborough is just this freaking crazy British battleship. And we just talked about the submarines and the test ships. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know it's a long video. I try to get it out under 30 minutes, and I know it's kind of speeding over some things, but again, I don't want to be posting 40 and 50 minute videos here on this channel. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you're all having a wonderful Saturday and weekend. And Labor Day weekend at that too for you American viewers. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.